by the way, will be announced as the University of Washington's head coach later this week. That's it in sports, everybody. We'll be back with more weather after this.
I was actually at the game last night as a fan. I bought a ticket and sat in the stands, and I was amazed at how many Yankee fans were surrounding me. And there were good-natured ribbing between the Marlins and Yankees fans. There were arguments, and there was actual fighting. And it was easy for me to see that distance between these two cities does not make the fans' hearts grow fonder. All right, well, there are a lot of fans now after that 12th inning home run, Dave, just like these two, that are Marlin fans. And I'm sure there will be a lot of Marlin fans for Game 5 tonight as they play their last game in Miami. In Miami at the World Series, Don Brennan for ABC 7 Sports. Former Bishop Verot High School star Adam Pyatt is hooked on with the Cleveland Indians, and he's trying to show off his skills and earn a major league spot, which means now they are eligible for postseason play in athletics starting with the fall of 2004. Very happy indeed here at FGCU, and what this also means now, Sharon, is that they will be able to apply to host regional and national championships, which will bring in more revenue. Here at Alico Arena on the FGCU campus, I'm Don Brennan for ABC 7 Sports. And on his first tee time in his first tournament, he overslept his first senior moment. The Florida Firecats were on a hunt for some records tonight. Steve Gorey was trying to break the rushing record, and Quincy Sorrell was trying for the season tackles record. Basically, it was up to the Indians whether they came to Fort Myers for a spring training home or not, and in the end, they didn't want to put up any money towards a spring training site, and they courted other offers till the very end. Finally, the city of Fort Myers and Lee County said, "Your time is up." Don't you wish you were a fish? And if you were a fish, Dave, what kind of fish would you be? That's what I want to know.
Donnie, I'd be a big fish.
Spurrier said, what was I going to do? Run the ball? I hated him at UF, but I think I got a man crush on this guy. He had another game tonight. As the late, great Jackie Robinson once said, a person's importance is measured by the impact they have on other people. The Miami Hurricanes kicked off their season today as they try and defend that national championship. They took on Florida A&M, a team they have not lost to in over 20 years. Offensive line coach Art Kehoe was on that team, and his troops have reminded him of it every day. Yesterday, the Red Sox had the big media circus with A-Rod and the Yankees. Tomorrow night, Pedro Martinez will make his 2004 debut. So today didn't really capture the nation like yesterday, and tomorrow they played the Twins in a split squad game. Strike three, you're out! That's what Rhea says to anybody who doesn't play by the rules. In 1913, 20-year-old Francis Ouimet beat out all comers in his very first major tournament, the U.S. Open. He is the only player ever to accomplish that feat. Today, Ben Curtis would try to do the same at the British Open. Well, Dave, where the city and the county go is they go to the Office of Economic Development to ask that 46 to 60 acres of land surrounding the project, the proposed project at Martin Luther King Boulevard and Ortez Avenue, can be used for commercial purposes. Dave, they have 6 business days to get $4 to $6 million out of this proposed project. That's it here in Tampa. I'm Don Brennan. Back to you. All 5 of the pertinent parties involved in the negotiations were here in Tampa. It's the Boston Red Sox, the Cleveland Indians, the city of Fort Myers and Lee County, and the DLR Group, who is the architect for this whole project. And in the end, Sharon, not a lot of headway was made in the negotiations. This Sunday marks the inaugural Sanibel Triathlon. The contestants will do a quarter-mile swim, a 12-mile bike ride, and a 5-mile run. I caught up with one of the competitors while she was training. Actually, I didn't catch up with her. I was in a car.
I remember doing my first triathlon, finishing it in the run, wondering if I could get a gun and shoot myself because I thought that it was the most miserable thing I had ever done. And about 10 minutes after the race and I had recovered and realized what I did, I just couldn't even wait for the next one.
Well, at least 2 out of the 3 triathlon events are all right. I like to bike, but if I'm going to do it, I'm doing it inside where it's nice and air conditioning. Hey, you may not get to splash around in the pool and frolic, but you cool off while you're working out. The running thing, I don't know about that.
A lot of people really struggle with the run, and running for me is just a no-brainer. It's real easy. I don't even have to work at it.
Everybody trains differently according to likes and dislikes, strengths and weaknesses, and work schedules. But last week, Angie entered into a half marathon in Virginia Beach in preparation for the triathlon.
Virginia Beach Rock and Roll Marathon, it was their inaugural race, and I had a blast. I placed 20th in my group and 62nd overall out of 19,000 people, so it was really, really exciting.
Training for the triathlon, I'm Don Brennan for ABC 7 Sports.
Didn't think that they could do anything athletic and get out here and just gradually pick up on it and excel rather quickly.
See, rowing's something for everybody. I mean, everybody could do it. Rob Lowe used it in the movies years ago, and it vaulted him into the White House and West Wing. But me, I'm sweating already just sitting here, so I prefer the trusty old motor over all that hard work.
Not everybody gets fun out of exercise, but it's one of those things. I think we both enjoy the waterway.
I can go on the motorboat later in the afternoon when the waves pick up a little bit. When it's nice and calm and flat, there's no other feeling like rowing on an open shell.
Rowing merrily down the stream, I'm Don Brennan for NBC2 Sports.
For 5 straight years now, the Dolphins have made the playoffs the most in the NFL. But for 5 straight years, they've gone out in the first or the second round. They knew it would come down to who won the turnover battle. The Dolphins lost that one, too. So, very good job. And Katharine Hepburn may be out there tomorrow. They're looking for Spencer Tracy.
Just maybe. Boy, he did look like him, didn't he?
He does. He really does. And I asked him if anybody's ever told him. He said they have. So behind me, another cleanup begins here at Pro Player Stadium. Another Dolphin season's in the books. They were outscored 147-13 in their last 4 playoff losses. They're not going to win in the playoffs that way. In Miami, I'm Don Brennan for NBC2 Sports. Of John McEnroe, the Lord of Tennis. He's the defending champ here at Nuveen. He's the points leader on the Success Tour so far this year, and he's one of the most notable tennis players of our time, no doubt about it. He's a great showman. He's ultra competitive, and not only that, everybody comes to see one of his monumental temper tantrums. Dave, John McEnroe will play Yannick Noah tonight at 7 o'clock. It's starting to feel like the Ice Bowl here. Dallas against Green Bay in 67. We'll have all the highlights later at 11. Now, because of the great Tico Arena, wonderful management, and beautiful weather here in Southwest Florida, this is considered a plum assignment. Coach Fleming was confident he could be the man to lead them into the future. And, the wind was the story of the day today. Not bad right now. It wasn't bad at all, not hurricane-like by any stretch of the imagination, but early on in the day, it was blowing harder and made it tougher for the early groups. As the day went on, the wind let up and the scores came down. Unfortunately, one of the early tee time victims was local pro John Calabria.
Next week, Mr. Tom James is from Ocala. You ever been up to a bike week in Daytona, Tom?
Actually, no, I haven't.
Oh, my goodness! Where's Tom?
Tom is off tonight, little time off tonight.
He
might be, he's actually at Daytona at the motorcycle.
I'm sorry, and I'm embarrassed.
I'm a little embarrassed for you. I think you were out riding your Harley today, and you got a little wind through your hair, and you forgot all about it. Anyway, coming up, so they're trying to shore up the quarterback position behind Sean King, so we'll see what happens.
I'm just looking at you and realizing that you don't look anything like Tom James at all.
A little.
Okay, we'll be right back. Rumor has it that the new owner, John Henry, might move the Red Sox training facility to Melbourne on the other coast. NBC2's Don Brennan talked with Henry today, pinning him down on an answer to those rumors, and Donny Baseball is here in the studio. Don.
Thanks a lot, Craig. Well, John Henry used to own the Florida Marlins, and he still has ties to their training facility. It's relatively new and updated, so there was talk that Henry may take the Red Sox out of Fort Myers. I got a chance to talk to him today about that and many other things.
John Henry grew up listening to baseball games on the radio. As a grown-up, he bought the Florida Marlins, a dream come true. But that didn't work out, so he had another dream, the Boston Red Sox.
Well, as you say, it's one of the all-time franchises, probably 4 jewels in baseball, and it's certainly one of them, so it's quite a thrill.
Henry still owns the Marlins' first-rate training facility in Melbourne. There was speculation that he would move the Red Sox spring training up there. He says it's false.
Yeah, the conditions are pretty nice. I can't imagine why anybody would not want to be here. We have, after this year, 5 more years on our lease at the ballpark, and so we haven't had a chance to think or talk about those. This is my 3rd day here, and I love it here.
As in Florida, Henry feels an affinity to the fans, both in Boston and here in Fort Myers.
As you can see from the fan base here, that's a large part of what you're buying along with the cable network. So it was certainly worth the effort, the price, and everything that went into it.
The Red Sox are here for now. Henry did tell me that he sees no reason for upgrading the facilities at this point, but that may change after he talks to his partner. Back to you, Craig.
All right, Donnie.
Some Gator football. Don Brennan joins us with the new sheriff who's in town.
Thanks a lot, Dave. That's right. We're here with University of Florida head coach Ron Zook, the man who replaces Steve Spurrier. Coach, what's it like to replace a legend?
Well, you don't worry about that. Obviously, you just there's a lot of expectations, and it's a great opportunity and a great challenge, and we're looking forward to getting out there and doing it.
How's it been on the job so far?
Been fast. We've covered a lot of ground in a short period of time in terms of spring ball and recruiting, and now we're into recruiting for next year. So it's there's always something to do. There's not a loss for something to do right now.
Coach, much like Phil Simms when he was drafted by the New York Giants back in the 70s, all the New York Giant fans said, Phil who? A lot of people said Ron who. How do you respond to the naysayers?
Well, I mean, that's part of it. I don't, it doesn't really matter who they would have hired. There would have been some questions, and I'm Ron Zook. I'm not Steve Spurrier. I said it in the beginning, and I'm looking forward to this challenge and this opportunity. And this is a great place. It's University of Florida. That's that's what makes the University of Florida a great place. Is the people, the expectations of the people, and it's a great place, and they deserve it. They deserve a great program.
Thanks a lot, Ron, and good luck this year.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Dave, from downtown Fort Myers, I'm Don Brennan. Back to you. He was back here in his hometown this weekend for his celebrity fundraiser. Today, Javon, Warren Sapp, Reed L. Anthony, and many others were out to play golf for charity. The money raised this weekend goes to children who are underprivileged, and tonight they will have a basketball game at Bishop Thoreau High School that is also open to the public. Now, I talked with Javon, and he really liked Warren Sapp's golf game.
I thought he was the best when he was on with his clubs, but Reed Anthony just pulled up and he had his clubs as well. So I guess it's some in the water up in Tampa Bay where they bring in their clubs, so I guess they have a little bit of game with it.
Back to your jacket. I like it.
We're thinking it's Jay's.
I think it must be Jay's.
Look at how short those sleeves
And
are.
he popped a button at the top, too.
Oh, correct. It's got to be Jay's.
Well, happy St. Patrick's Day. Thanks for joining us.
See you back at 11. Have a great.
Just a phenomenal career. The Miami Dolphins haven't won a game since they beat the Jets in the final game of last season. It was the first time in many years they played the finale without playoff ramifications until this year. The Florida Everblades opened the season with a rousing 6-2 victory last night against the Texas Wildcatters. They had so much fun they figured, hey, let's do it again tonight.
Look who's back.
Donny Brennan. You never know where you'll find the man.
Good to have you back, Don.
Well, thanks. It's good to be back. And actually, two Southwest Florida former high school players playing for local teams today in the NFL. The Florida Flame are officially underway as they began their first NBDL training camp today. The Flame have exactly 2 weeks before their opening game at Germain Arena on Sunday, the 21st of November. Four foursomes vied for the 2004 Shark Shootout lead as they entered today's final round at Tiburon in Naples. Scott McCarron strolling along, and he's teamed with the host, Greg Norman, so he should win, right? Thanks a lot, Tom. See, at the beginning there, I told him to think outside the box. That's what he was trying to do. 48 points separate four drivers as NASCAR is in the final lap of their season. Next week is Homestead, which will decide the winner just as the new format was made to do. I love it when a plan comes together. Jeff Gordon is